Good afternoon and welcome to the August 26, 2025 meeting of the Georgetown County Council. Please note for record, we do have a quorum present. Please join us as Councilor Reverend Cooper leads us in the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, as we look to you today, the author and finisher of our faith, we ask for divine guidance. We ask for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, decisions that we will make today. We ask that you would be in our midst. We give you the glory and we give you the honor. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. We move down to the approval of the agenda. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the meeting agenda as published.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Morant. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, motion passes. The agenda is approved. We move down to special reports and presentations. We have a nonprofit spotlight tonight. Early Learning Council, GCOST, Georgetown County Francis P. Burnell Foundation are partnering to spotlight a local nonprofit. This week's featured nonprofit is Early Learning Council, GCOST, with Terry Lashes and Tamara Green. I hope I pronounced those right. If I didn't, I apologize.
Good evening.
Evening.
I am Tamara Green. I'm the Executive Director of Freedom Readers, and I'm actually the chairperson for GCOST. And so I've been honored with tasked and honored to share with you about what these two collaboratives are doing in Georgetown County and what we're doing to support youth from birth to 12th grade. The ELC, the Early Learning Council, has been around for quite some time. It's comprised of practitioners from across the state and leaders right here in Georgetown County that support child care, early child care across the county. So their mission is to ensure that all children ages 0 to 5 are developmentally prepared for school by supporting their educators, the child care, and their providers and families. Some of the major partners, and it's just some of them, there's much more, Georgetown County First Steps, Georgetown County School District, Miss Ruby's Kids, SC Inclusion Collaborative, the Institute for Childhood Success, the YMCA, ABC Quality Control, South Carolina Child Care Resources and Referral, but there are a number of other organizations that serve children for an abundance of different reasons. So some of those focus areas, in the ELC, we kind of break it up into three kind of big buckets. There's child care providers that serve 0 to 5. There's child care service providers just in general. And then there's services for families for children of 0 to 5. In that bucket of child care providers that serve 0 to 5, this is really to support the professional network, so actual daycare workers, child care workers, and making sure that that workforce is sustainable. So that could be through trainings, resources, different things that the ELC will put on to support those child care providers. And then in that second bucket of service providers, it's really about providing services for the actual child care center. So what other services can we bring in for kids, whether they have developmental delays or behavioral concerns, of any of those things like that, or even just some general capacity building type things for the actual daycare or child care provider. And then that last bucket, again, with families, with children, is really about making sure families have access to the services that they need. So again, those services can be right here in the county, but a lot of them come from all over the state that support Georgetown County. Recently, some successes have been a local resource fair for families that have kids 0 to 5. We've created and shared a network of resources statewide. And really, Georgetown County has been a model for early childhood collaboratives and having hosted leaders from other counties as well. So folks always like to come to us to see kind of, what's Georgetown doing? How are y'all making this work? How are you getting daycares to come work with you? How are you getting leadership involved in those types of things? And then we're providing real-time solutions to organizations and families experiencing those challenges. And I don't know if you know, but a couple years ago, Georgetown County was third in the state for kindergarten readiness scores. And a lot of that was attributed to the work that the Early Learning Council has done. The challenge is really spreading the awareness of those local resources. So there's folks kind of like to always flight to the school district for answers, even though their kids might not be readily appropriate in age for the school district to take them on. So we're really tasked with trying to just spread that message across the board, whether it's resource fairs through our schools, through our daycare providers, but also we want you all to know that there are an abundance of resources for kids that may have a gamut of issues or whatever needs a family may need. Now, GCOST. So I am, like I said, I'm the chairperson for GCOST. That's Georgetown County Out of School Time Programs. And we have been around for quite a while as well. And our vision is that every school-age child in Georgetown County has the access to quality out-of-school time programs and services, promoting positive youth development and prevention of at-risk behaviors. And our mission is to use that collaboration to constantly improve the quality and sustainability of those out-of-school time programs and services. Some of our major partners are Georgetown County School District, Freedom Readers, Teach My People, Department of Juvenile Justice, Browns Ferry Outreach, the YMCA, Optimism Preventative Services, Georgetown County Parks and Rec, Purpose Kids, and the Village Group. So the county is at the table. And then some of our focus areas are really based around community connections. And for us, GCOST is really more so of a learning community. So we know that, once 2:15, 2:30 hits, kids are flooding to their after school area programs. So our job is to really try to center a lot of training around for those nonprofits, as well as making sure that we're partnering not only with each other, but with other outside agencies as well. So whether that's us partnering with agencies from ELC or wherever, food banks, all those different types of things, making sure that we're staying connected. Some of our successes, we've shared a network of resources to agencies across all corners of the county. We've hosted trainings in CPR, mental health first aid, and Triple P seminars. We annually recognize Lights On After School, which is a national holiday of sorts to just bring awareness to making sure that we're supporting after school time programs and making sure that we're keeping the lights on. And then engaging in data sharing projects with the school district to see if children engaged in after school are actually performing better academically and having behavioral outcomes. And that research has showed that the more slots that we have available for after school, the less trouble that our kids are in. Some of our challenges are access to those funding and resources to expand those services and serve more youth. And so what GCOST has recently done is has engaged into a strategic planning session with a consultant to make sure that we're growing the way that we need to as well. We say we want to serve more kids, but how realistically can we do that? Does it require more money? Does it require more space? Does it require more partnerships? Do we have enough agencies at the table? Is anyone missing from the table? And those types of things. So we're excited to see that work being done. And as we go into 2026, really just be ready to serve kids in the best way possible. Oh, yeah. These collaboratives are proudly supported by the Francis P. Bunnell Foundation. They've been supporting us for a very long time, and it's just great to kind of have them on board just to make sure that we're staying where we need to be, we're growing the way that we need to be, and ELC and GCOST are just so happy to just have them as a supporter and just happy to be able to present to you all today about the work that we're doing in the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Greener. Are there any comments from the council?
Yes, I have a question.
Reverend Cooper?
I have two questions for you. What's the amount, how many children did the services provided, approximately how many children?
ELC, almost every daycare in Georgetown County participates in ELC in some way or another, whether that's private, nonprofit, and that also includes Head Start. So I don't know an exact number for those services, but all of those agencies are included. And then with GCOST, that number can fluctuate from year to year as well. But if that's, something of importance, I can get that number back to you.
And my second question, how did the service, the challenges that the challenges, how the service, how are you addressing the challenges for funding, resources, and expanding services?
So with GCOST, so they're kind of a little different. With GCOST, every organization, of course, has their own funding resources and budgets. So one way we try to kind of combat those, of course, looking out for new funding, but also working together. When we're pulled together in a collaborative effort, gives us the opportunity to get other funding, because bigger funders do want to see how you're working with other people, as opposed to giving an agency 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. We might be able to get 10,000 or 20,000 to kind of work on a project or something like that. So the collaborative work itself is kind of the biggest way for us to kind of combat those funding challenges.
Thank you.
We're stronger together.
I had a question. How many groups here in our area are in this consortium of preschool education? You named about 4, I think.
So I listed about 6 on the screen. There's way more than 6. If you think about all the providers in the county themselves, and that's from all parts of the county, the child care providers that participate, but then there's also service agencies that participate as well. So BabyNet is one that I think we didn't list. And then Birthright is another one that's engaged that we didn't list. There's a lot of organizations. There's a lot. And sometimes people kind of fluctuate in and out, because the collaborative work is the long-term work, right? It's the work that people don't always stick around to do. But the ones that were listed in the presentation are the ones that are always at the table.
So some are private, some are public, as far as their funding. And I mean, what's a wild guess? Maybe 15 different organizations that are taking care of these kids?
Probably child care providers that engage in ELC, there's probably a total of about 15 to 20 providers that just take care of kids on a regular basis. That's not to include all the other agencies that provide services to those kids.
I understand. So 20 for the kids.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't forget the parents.
And then
I have a quick question on the childhood population in our county. I've been tracking the school-age population. It's been consistently decreasing. Is that a concern, or is that part of your strategic planning going forward?
So what for GCOST, referring to GCOST strategic planning?
Yes.
It has not been a concern yet that there are not enough slots for kids in school age, so that age 5 to 12th grade. What we find out, of course, is by the time they drop off to middle school, they're engaged in much more sports and things like that. So we don't really have to plan for as much after-school programming for that age group. And then the same thing for high school. But currently, because of the way just funding for different things have come across the past couple years, we haven't been hit with there are not enough slots for kids in after school. Some centers, of course, do have certain wait lists for their programs, but it's not an astronomical amount of, number.
Okay. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you, Ms. Green.
Thank
And on
you.
behalf of all of Georgetown County, thank you for everything you do. All right, we move on to the Employee of the Quarter. Our Human Resources Director, Mr. Walt Ackerman, will give us a report. Mr. Ackerman, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my honor tonight to present to you our most recent employee of the quarter, Ms. Judy Cabalova. Judy is the living embodiment of great things come in small packages. She's been with us for about a year, and she is absolutely incredible. The approach that she's taken when she works on projects, she's pulling in stakeholders from. They may not have an inkling of an idea that they're involved, but she's realized they're going to be involved. She gets everybody in. She really focuses on the details of projects, making sure things go smoothly. And you know, I love numbers. So one thing that she's done recently is she actually saved the county about $62,000 on a recent project just from digging into the details and realizing that there was ways to save money. And when the contractor needed to do some change orders, she's like, nope. You know, we're not paying that much for it. So she saved us quite a bit of money. She's a fantastic individual. She's a pleasure to work with. And I know you've got this in front of you, but I just want to read this. And I will say, Director Funnye going out the door gets an employee of the quarter due to his fantastic presentation. So kudos to him. But on Judy, one thing that was said, you know, what truly sets Judy apart is her unwavering work ethic and eagerness to learn. According to her nomination form, she consistently goes above and beyond, making her one of the most valuable members of the county team. Her dedication, expertise, and commitment to both quality work and community service make her a deserving candidate for the employee of the quarter. So we want to give a big hats off and a big thank you to Judy. Thank you very much. And we have an award for you up front. And if you will come, we'll get the chairman, if you will, Mr. Chairman, step down and we'll get some photographs. I should have printed that bigger.
Thank you, Mr. Ackerman. We move down to Resolution 2524, a resolution honoring the career and service of Ray C. Funnye upon his retirement from Georgetown County. Mr. Ackerman, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I read the resolution, I'd just like to make a little comment and an observation. I talk to, and y'all can't believe this, but I talk to a lot of people. You know, I talk to a lot of employees, people on the street, members of the community, and I always encourage people to make a plan and to follow that plan, because if you don't have a plan, you never know where you're going to go. And at Ray's retirement celebration the other day, he made the comment that his plan back in the day was to go to school, get his education, and never come back to Georgetown County unless he was visiting for holidays because his daddy worked him too hard while he was home. And I think I can safely say for all the citizens of Georgetown County, all the employees that he's come in contact with, this is one case where I'm glad his plan did not work out. So, you know, we've been highly blessed to have Ray with us. I've been working with Ray on and off for about 20 years now. He's went above and beyond to help me and my family personally on occasion and professionally as well. And I really appreciate everything he's done. This is a bittersweet moment. You know, I'm tickled to death that he's able to retire and fulfill a fantastic career, but I'm saddened by the loss of a colleague and a friend and all of this institutional knowledge that he's taken with him. So he will be truly missed. Now, without further ado, this is a resolution honoring the career and service of Ray C. Funnye upon his retirement from Georgetown County. Whereas Ray C. Funnye has faithfully and honorably served the citizens of Georgetown County for more than 3 decades, beginning his tenure in 1992 as a plans examiner, advancing to Director of Public Works, and later serving as the longstanding Director of Public Services, And whereas since 2002, in his role as Director of Public Services, Mr. Funnye has overseen 7 major divisions, including Public Works, GIS and Asset Management, Environmental Services, Facility Services, Capital Projects and Engineering, Fleet Services, and Stormwater Engineering, managing a budget exceeding $24 million, along with current capital improvement budget of approximately $89 million and a staff of 131 employees. And whereas throughout his distinguished career, Mr. Funnye has guided the successful completion of numerous capital improvement projects, including new fire stations, drainage improvements, beach management plans, roadway expansions, stormwater projects, parks and recreation facilities, courthouse and judicial center renovations, and the Carroll Ashmore Campbell Marine Complex. And whereas Mr. Funnye's leadership secured and maintained national accreditation from the American Public Works Association for Georgetown County, making it one of only 3 counties in South Carolina to achieve this honor. Whereas Mr. Funnye's outstanding career achievements have earned him numerous local, state, national, and international awards, including recognition as one of the top 10 public works leaders of the year by the American Public Works Association in 2010, the prestigious Palmetto Patriots Civilian Award in 2013, and the American Medical Association's Award for Outstanding Government Service in 2021. And whereas, in addition to his professional accomplishments, Mr. Funnye has dedicated his time and talents to community service, including founding the Village Group and serving on numerous boards and advisory councils, supporting education, workforce development, housing, and environmental stewardship throughout Georgetown County. And whereas Georgetown County Council desires to recognize and commend Mr. Funnye for his exemplary leadership, professionalism, and tireless commitment to the citizens of Georgetown County, now therefore be it resolved that Georgetown County Council, on behalf of the citizens of Georgetown County, does hereby express its deepest appreciation to Ray C. Funnye for his extraordinary service and extends him the best wishes upon his retirement and in all future endeavors. Adopted this 26th day of August, 2025. Mr. Chairman, I submit this for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Ackerman. You've heard the report from Mr. Ackerman regarding Resolution 2524, a resolution honoring the career and service of Ray C. Funnye upon his retirement from Georgetown County. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand.
I've got a comment. I have worked for 3 major manufacturing companies in my life over a long period of years, and nowhere have I seen anybody do as much multitasking at the same time as this gentleman. That's a feat. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Anderson. All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Resolution carries. Congratulations, Mr. Funnye.
Awesome. You want us out there? Want to go in the back? It's up to you. It's up to, actually, it's up to my, in the front? Okay.
All right.
Going on, big shoes to fill.
Mr. Chairman, I was just informed that we have a special surprise to go along with this resolution. Apparently, our IT folks have a video that they would like to play.
Oh, nice.
If you would indulge us. The look on Ray's face was priceless.
Oh. Cool.
Thank you, Ray, and enjoy your rest of your life. Don't be a stranger, because I am jealous. In about 30 years, I'll be right there with you.
Mr. Chairman, before we proceed, I do have a comment I'd like to make, if it's okay with you.
Absolutely, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, congratulations to Judy and Ray on your accomplishments and all you all have done for Georgetown County. And as we all know, Georgetown County possesses a myriad of talents and abilities which permeates throughout the county and throughout the world, basically. And there's someone who I've been watching for quite a while, and I'm sure you all have too, if you've been involved with the world of track and field. And we have a young lady who has been competing in that sport for a while. She seems to have always been overlooked in some respect, even after having 2 medals from the Olympics. They still seem to not have given her credit as to what she has been doing. So, being from a small town, a small community of Dunbar, which is within the western part of Georgetown County, she decided to go professional in U.S. track and field. And she has entered into several races over the past summer. And in Kingston, Jamaica, she came in first place in the 100 meters. In Miami, Florida, she came in first place in the 100 meters. In Philadelphia, she decided to expand on her talent, so she enlisted in the 200 meters. And guess what? She came in first in the 200 meters also. And in the Prefontaine Classic, she came in first again in the 100 meters. And in Eugene, Oregon, in outdoor track and field, guess what? She came in first again in the 100 meters. And then she just competed in the Diamond League, which she came in again, which is in Belgium, Brussels, Belgium. She came in again in first place. And you have this small frame lady from the small community of Dunbar in Georgetown County, which some of you may not even know where it is. But she matriculated in the Georgetown County Public Schools. She graduated from Carver's Bay, went on to Coastal Carolina University. And right now, she's on the verge of representing Team USA. I didn't say South Carolina. I said Team USA in the Tokyo World Athletic Championship in September. She's a native of Georgetown, and she has been overlooked because of the small town she's allegedly from and the small community that she is from. But what has amazed me with her is her talent and ability, and her comment, and you may have seen it yourself, her comment regarding coming from a small town where someone is somewhat not understanding your abilities. She says this: yeah, we might be from a small town in a small community, but that doesn't matter. Your ceiling isn't Georgetown, South Carolina, or Georgetown County. I need them to know that it's really dependent upon you and the type of person you want to grow up to be. That is the type of person Melissa Jefferson Wooden is. And I think we really need to congratulate her and show her that Georgetown County, and she's a part of Team Georgetown County. And so we need to really support her and show her that we are behind her as she goes forward to represent us and Team USA in the World Athletic Championship in Tokyo this September. So I think we need to let her know, and we need to give her a great round of applause for all the accomplishments she has made thus far, and she will continue to make, because she really has put Georgetown County on the map. Now they know where Georgetown County is. After overlooking Georgetown all the time, now Georgetown County will be worldly known in everything that Melissa has done to bring fame and fortune to Georgetown County. So I think we deserve to make sure we support her and we give her a nice round of applause and congratulate her on her achievements as council. I think we need to give some round of applause for Ms. Jefferson. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me the opportunity to make a comment.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilor Morant. We move down to the public comment period. A public comment period is included on each meeting agenda and shall be limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and no speaker may yield his or her allotted time to another speaker. Timers provided on the screen, and at the end of your time, please wrap up your comments promptly. While speaking, please be sure to address council only and refrain from personal attacks. Council will not respond to any questions during this period. While a speaker has the floor, the public will respect the speaker and allow them their time to address council. Members of the public who wish to address council during public input period should sign up with the clerk to council before the meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any speakers for tonight's meeting?
No, sir.
All right. We will move down to the consent agenda. 3 matters on the consent agenda were previously approved by virtue of the agenda approval process. Procurement number 20-059, task order number 18, runway and taxiway light replacement for Robert F. Funnye Airport in Andrews, South Carolina. Mr. James Taylor, Airport Director, recommends the approval of task order number 18 in the amount of $165,150.40 for the authorization for Talbot and Bright and for the quality assurance testing services work performed by their subconsultant, Soil Consultants Incorporated. Say that 4 times. Procurement number 25061, utility tractor for environmental services. Staff recommends awarding lowest bidder, Tyler Equipment Company Incorporated of Conway, South Carolina, for a total cost of $112,669.96, inclusive of sales tax and delivery. Procurement number 25062, landfill off-road truck. Georgetown County Public Services and Environmental Services staff recommend the mid-tier option for the John Deere 310P tier at $504,840.93. We will move down to public hearings. Ordinance number 2523, an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes in the city of agreement by and between Diatom US Incorporated, the company, and Georgetown County, South Carolina, providing for payment by the company of certain fees in lieu of ad valorem taxes, providing for special resource revenue credits in connection with such agreement, providing for the location of the property and the allocation of fees in lieu of ad valorem taxes payable under the agreement, providing for the establishment of a multi-county industrial/business park, and providing for other matters relating thereto. We will now open the floor to public comments pertaining to Ordinance 25-23. Hearing none, public hearing is now closed. We move down to resolutions and proclamations. Proclamation number 25-23 to proclaim the week of September 17th through 23 as Constitution Week in Georgetown County. We have a report from Ms. Alma Sierra, our clerk to council.
On a local level, Proclamation number 2523 is proposed in recognition and acknowledgement of National Constitution Week and proclaims September 17th through the 23rd, 2025 as Constitution Week in Georgetown County, and staff recommends that council approve.
Thank you, Ms. Sierra. You've heard a report from Ms. Sierra, our clerk to council, regarding Proclamation number 2523 to proclaim the week of September 17th through 23 as Constitution Week in Georgetown County. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? The proclamation passes. We move down to Proclamation number 25-25, proclaiming the month of September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in Georgetown County. We will have a report from Ms. Maya Morant, our Economic Development Project Analyst. Ms. Morant.
Good evening, Council. I'll say thank you for this opportunity. We want to put Proclamation number 25-25, which proclaims the month of September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in Georgetown County, into the record. Would you like me to read the ordinance the proclamation?
Sure.
All right, so whereas prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed non-cancer cancer among men in the United States, and it is estimated that 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with the disease during his lifetime, and whereas early detection through regular screenings can significantly reduce the risk of death and improve treatment outcomes for prostate cancer patients, and whereas awareness and education are essential in encouraging men to discuss prostate health with their physicians, to learn the risk factors, and to take advantage of recommended screenings, and whereas Families, survivors, and advocacy groups throughout the nation are united to promote prostate cancer awareness, provide support to those affected, and encourage research efforts that will lead to improved prevention, detection, and treatment. And whereas Georgetown County recognizes the importance of raising awareness about prostate cancer in order to save lives and support the health and well-being of the men in our community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Georgetown County Council does hereby designate the month of September 2025 as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in Georgetown County and urges all citizens to join in efforts to increase awareness, support those battling the disease, and promote education and early detection. Adopted this 26th day of August 2025.
Thank you, Ms. Morant. You've heard the proclamation number 2525 proclaiming the month of September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in Georgetown County. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Morant. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Charlton. Or is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The proclamation passes. We will move now to third reading of ordinances. Ordinance number 25-23, an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and incentive agreement by and between Diatom US Incorporated, known as the company, and Georgetown County, South Carolina, providing for payment by the company of certain fees in lieu of ad valorem taxes, providing for special source revenue credits in connection with such agreement, providing for the location of the property and the allocation of fees in lieu of ad valorem taxes payable under the agreement, providing for the establishment of a multi-county industrial park / business park, and providing for other matters relating thereto. We will have a report from Ms. Kelly Robertson-Slagle, our Economic Development Director. Ms. Slagle.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. Tonight, I bring forward the third and final reading of ordinance number 25-23, which authorizes Georgetown County to enter into a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and incentive agreement, commonly referred to as a FELO, with Diacom US Incorporated. This ordinance also authorizes the use of the special source revenue credits, or SSRCs, as we like to call them in economic development, and places the project within a multi-county industrial park. Diacom US is an advanced manufacturing company specializing in sustainable building materials made from diatomaceous earth, a silica-rich, naturally occurring mineral. Their products are designed to be fire-resistant, energy-efficient, and environmentally friendly, offering low-carbon alternatives for insulation and cladding in the construction industry. The company is launching its flagship U.S. manufacturing operation, and we're extremely pleased to report that they've selected Georgetown County as their home. Diacom US is investing approximately $100 million to build a new state-of-the-art facility right here in our county. This project is expected to create more than 40 new jobs, including skilled and technical positions with competitive wages. The investment will strengthen our industrial base, generate long-term revenue, and expand economic opportunity here in Georgetown County. Why does this matter? This project brings more than just jobs and tax revenue. It brings sustainable industry, innovation, and a strong partner for Georgetown County. Diatom's commitment to clean technology and responsible manufacturing aligns with our long-term vision for a thriving modern economy. It also positions Georgetown County as a competitive destination for forward-thinking companies seeking to invest in the Southeast. The ordinance before you has undergone all required public readings and legal review. It represents a thoughtful and balanced agreement between Georgetown County and Diacom US. So tonight, I respectfully recommend final approval of ordinance number 25-23. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robertson-Slagle. Are there any questions for Ms. Slagle?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have one. Ms. Kelly, can you be a little bit more specific about what these folks are going to be manufacturing?
They are manufacturing silica, earth. It's a mineral, and if come join me or jump in there, Maya.
So they're manufacturing the silica that goes in the tires when you make for making tires. So they'll be servicing different tire manufacturing companies. For
So
that.
it's going to be a processed material that ends up in a tire.
Correct.
That's close enough. Thank you so much.
Correct. And their major, I do know that their major customer is out of Charleston. So they really like Georgetown as their strategic location for that reason.
Ms. Slagle, approximately how many jobs is Diacom?
40 jobs.
40 jobs? Okay, thank you. Are there any further questions? You've heard a report from our Economic Development Director on ordinance number 25-23, an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes, an incentive agreement by and between Diatom US Incorporated in Georgetown County, South Carolina, providing for payment by the company for certain fees in lieu of ad valorem taxes, providing for special source revenue credits in connection with such agreement, providing for the location of the property and the allocation of fees in lieu of ad valorem taxes payable under the agreement, providing for the establishment of a multi-county industrial/business park, and providing for other matters relating thereto. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Mr. Chairman?
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Ordinance passes. Ordinance number 25-25 to amend Georgetown County Procurement Ordinance number 20-32. We have a report from Ms. Nancy Silver, our procurement officer. Ms. Silver.
Hi, good evening. So the purchasing ordinance was fully revised back in 2020 with an amendment made in 2021 to add additional types of contracts. The county is seeking to add additional updates to bring the procurement ordinance up to date. So some of the items that we are looking at changing were to clarify definitions, change minor languages throughout, such as person to parties, add the following exceptions as well, which is professional licensed services and other specialized consulting and service contracts, including without limitation, legal counsel and lobbyists, economic development ventures, and add an exception for airport fixed base operator and other aviation industry operations. Another change that we made to the ordinance is for surplus personal property, just to update language so that we can go ahead and dispose of by any efficient and legal means, things that have little or no market value. Another change that we made was just updating the protest period. The administrative resolution of controversies changed from 7 business days to 7 calendar days for solicitation or award. And that's just to help streamline the process. And no other changes has been made since second reading, and staff recommends approval of the revised ordinance.
Thank you, Ms. Silver. Are there any questions for Ms. Silver?
Miss Nancy, I have a question for Miss
Okay.
Nancy.
Councilor Anderson?
You and I have talked a lot about ways to make procurement a little bit easier on you all. All this list of things, which was the most important one to you as far as making life easier?
For me, it was actually just the change in days. That was the number one thing that I wanted. I actually wanted to do it to 5 days to kind of expedite it more, but we negotiated at the 7 days.
I have a confession. That was a rhetorical question.
Okay.
Any further questions?
Ms. Silver, you spoke about changing it from business days to calendar days. Normally, what's the amount of time that an application must be sent back to you really as being approved, or to be considered, I should say? Is it 5 days, 10 days, or more?
So according to this, this was just for the protest period. And the reason why we wanted to change that was because now we're submitting things electronically. So if I'm going to get a protest, I know within, 48 hours typically.
Yeah, but how many days normally is required to have a protest sent back in?
How many days normally?
Approximately, yes.
Yeah, it was 7 business days, and now we're changing it to calendar days.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking because, obviously when you're talking about 7 calendar days, that includes the weekend, which cuts down on some time, really makes it about 5 days, to be honest with you. So I'm just trying to figure out whether that's the appropriate time period to allow one to resubmit their protest. Submit their protest.
Yeah, like I said.
Typically 2 days from now.
Yeah, typically it's because now I'm putting that out electronically instead of mailing it out. So I'll know if we had a protest within 24 to 48 hours of posting that.
All right, thank you. Just want to make sure it's
Thank
clear.
you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? All right, you've heard the report from Ms. Silver on ordinance number 2525 to amend the Georgetown County Procurement Ordinance 20-32. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Ordinance passes. We move down to second reading of ordinances. Ordinance number 25-26 to amend the comprehensive plan, future land use map to reflect the redesignation of tax map parcels 41-0404-011-01-00, 41-0404-11-03-00 through 41-0404-11-03-04, 41-0404-011-16-00, 41-0404-017-00-00, 41-0404-011-18-01, and 41-0404-011-19-00 located in Merle's Inlet from rural residential to residential. We have a report from Ms. Holly Richardson, our planning director. Ms. Richardson, that's a
Thank you,
mouthful.
Mr. Chairman, and thank you for reading all those numbers. I won't repeat it. I'm going to do 10A and 10B together as they involve the same tract of land. This is, as you said, one parcel that's a little over an acre, and the initial request here is to rezone from FA to R1/2 acre, and this is in Council District 6. This parcel currently has a single-family dwelling located on it, and the applicant's request is to be able to rezone the property R1/2 so he can split it into 2 half-acre lots to add an additional single-family dwelling. This parcel is in the Georgetown County Water and Sewer District service area. Both water and sewer are available to the property via Berkeley Court. The current FA zoning for the tract allows for things like farms, golf courses, bed and breakfasts, single-family dwellings, landscaping services, cemeteries, some limited commercial, all on 1 acre lots, and the setbacks currently are 50 for the front, 20 on the side, and 30 in the back. The proposed zoning of R1/2 acre allows for single-family dwellings, including mobile homes, on half-acre lots with 40-foot front setback, 15 on the side, and 25 in the rear. The surrounding properties are all zoned either FA or half-acre, and they are surrounded by current uses of single-family residences. The property does have sufficient area for the R1/2 acre zoning district. There is sufficient area to subdivide. We don't consider this to be spot zoning due to the adjacent R1/2 acre zoning in that area. The property is located in an AE regulated flood zone. It's also located in our stormwater MS4 area. The future land use map for this property designates it as rural residential. That is our place type that supports very low density housing. And may also include some rural supporting commercial uses. You can see that is kind of set up for the FA. All the surrounding properties are either designated as RR or the residential RES place type. The RES place type covers low to medium density residential development. Staff is recommending in this case changing the future land use map for this parcel and the surrounding parcels. That's why you had so many numbers to read out there. That are currently zoned half acre or are less than 1 acre in size from RR to RES. We are trying to limit our updates to, obviously this is our new future land use map, but in this case we felt it was warranted. And again, we did only try to pick up the parcels that are smaller than an acre, which wouldn't be supported by the RR designation, or the parcels that are already zoned as R1/2, so that we're consistent. The Planning Commission held a public hearing back in June. No one but the applicant was there to speak, and the commission voted to recommend approval for the rezoning unanimously, and they also voted to recommend approval for the amendment to the future land use map for those parcels. I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions from Ms. Richardson?
I had one question. You mentioned that these are in an AE zone.
Yes.
Do you know what elevation that is? Is it a AE 5, 6, 7?
I do not. I can
Okay, that's fine. I
check
was
that
just
for you.
curious. No, that's all right. I was just wondering what they were up against as far as elevation. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
On the map, I'm trying to look, here it is. For the future land use map, are you going around Berkeley Court and Tupelo Road? Is that capturing all of that?
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up, because the map that's in your packet doesn't accurately reflect the number of lots. So I'll be sure to also have that for you at third reading. But yes, it starts at Tupelo and goes
Around Berkeley Court?
up to Ditch Digger and picks up those lots just north of Ditch Digger Lane on the
Okay.
other side.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any more questions? All right, we'll take these separately. First, ordinance 2526 to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map to reflect the redesignation of tax map parcels. Here we go. 41-0404-011-01-00, 41-0404-11-03-00 through 41-0404-11-03-04, 41-0404-011-16-00, 41-0404-017-00, 41-0404-018-01, and 41-0404-011-19-00, located in the Murrells Inlet area from rural residential to residential. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would think that you'd be a darn good auctioneer.
Numbers are not my forte, but I do like to speak fast. All right. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The ordinance passes. Now down to ordinance 25-27 to rezone one parcel totaling 1.06 acres located on the northern side of Ditch Digger Lane and Murrells Inlet from forest agriculture to residential 1/2 in Council District Number 6. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The ordinance passes. All right, we move down to ordinance number 25-28, an ordinance to regulate non-consent towing from private commercial property in Georgetown County. We have a report from Jay Watson, our county attorney. Mr. Watson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council, you'll recall, it's been several meetings back, we had a gentleman show up who is pretty certain he was a wrecker service provider or tow truck operator, and asked council to look at the issue of tow fees. And so we began to do that. And what was originally before you, the draft for the ordinance, only looked at the issue of the fees. And it is Georgetown County's prior ordinance has been amended so that the fee structure will follow the fees that are posted on the South Carolina Department of Public Safety. You've got a copy of those just for your information. It looks something like this. This is a 2023. I think there's now a 2025. So it stays pretty current. It's online. It's easy to reference. And so I think that's a safe harbor, so to speak, for the county to keep its fee structure in line with what is already being used elsewhere in the state and is regularly updated by the Department of Public Safety. However, also looking at it as I was preparing for today, realized, going through it some more, while we were originally just focused on the fees, there's a number of other things within our ordinance, for instance, insurance, and then we have a section called miscellaneous, which deals with things like, carry a broom, shovel, and fire extinguisher, safety equipment and whatnot, standard equipment on there, rollback, having a winch capacity. These things, our miscellaneous list is similar to what is also included in regs, South Carolina Regs 38-600B. The state regs has their own list of some of these and other things. So what I would recommend to council is that we take section 4 of our old ordinance, section 5 of our ordinance, the miscellaneous, the insurance, and put all of these into or amend our ordinance so that it all follows the state regs. Again, I think that's a safe harbor for you. It's what most of your tow companies are already doing and are familiar with because they get calls from Highway Patrol and other departments, and they want to be in compliance with that. I also spoke with the sheriff to ask him about their rotations and would this be a problem for them? And he said no, he also liked the idea of that. So I did present to you something with the amended language. One other area that I would also point out to you in our old ordinance, it said authorization, and it says that the owner of private commercial property may contract or initiate a request for tow. I would also advise just removing commercial. You might have private or, a residential or someone that's not necessarily commercial where someone's parked. And so just the property owner. But I will also get out for you some amended language. And I apologize, we didn't have it when it went out with the agenda earlier, but I did present some information for you to review. Do you have any questions on that? I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. Are any questions for Jay? Hearing none, you've heard the report on ordinance to regulate non-consent, 2528, an ordinance to regulate non-consent towing from private commercial property in Georgetown County. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, point of order here. If council wishes to adopt the amendments as we've discussed,
Bring it up before.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Then what you would need to do is consider a motion to amend as recommended. If that passes, then back to the original motion and move to adopt the ordinance as amended.
If we put the motion to amend, will that be included in the third reading documentation?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody can review it.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the amended version, the amendments to the motion, to the ordinance.
Mr. Newton, to be clear, you're moving to accept the recommendation to amend?
Correct.
All right.
You've heard the motion from Councilor Newton to accept the amended version. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the amended version, please raise your hand. All opposed? Now back to the original motion. Is there a motion on the floor to accept the motion? Is there a motion on the floor to adopt the amended ordinance, the ordinance as amended?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the amended motion as approved, please raise your hands. All opposed?
Mr. Chairman, one thing, was that on this vote you just took, was the first, was that Mr. Newton or Ms. Mercado? Who?
Ms. Mercado, second.
Mr. Mercado, thank you.
All right. So we move down to the first reading of ordinances. The following ordinances are just to be read to the record by title only. We have ordinance number 25-29, an ordinance to rezone a portion of 3 parcels located at 3273 High Market Street, Georgetown, totaling approximately 46.84 acres, identified as portions of TMS number 01-0202-119-00-00, TMS number 01-0202-119-02-00, and TMS number 01-0202-119-03-00 from Tyson Industrial Plan Development, the PD, to general commercial and 10,000 square foot residential MR10 to heavy industrial. This is in Council District number 3. We have ordinance 25-30, an ordinance to amend the Georgetown County Code of Ordinances, section 8-24, fees, subsection C3, relating to tire disposal fees, and ordinance number 25-31, an ordinance to disestablish various county council appointed boards and commissions and to assign functions and duties to county departments and sheriff's office. We move down to the approval of minutes. We will, is there a motion on the floor to approve the regular council meeting minutes for July 22nd, 2025?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Morant. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? The minutes from July 22nd, 2025 are approved. We move to the special council meeting amendment, or minutes from July 31st, 2025. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? The minutes are approved. Is there any further business to come before the council at this time?
I've got something that I'd like to share with you all after what we went through with all the fishing stuff.
Councilor Anderson?
I just received this text message from a fellow named Todd from New Jersey who called me on several occasions. We were in the middle of that, and he just said here, just got a nice trout, love your county, be back next year. Thanks, Bob.
All right. Is there a motion on the floor to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. We stand adjourned. I know.